What the heck? This is great. I love it so much. We have no idea what's going to happen. We're allying with Monokuma against Kokichi, and everything has gone insane.
I love it.
This game is fantastic. Speaking of liking Danganronpa V3, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
I'm We2.
And I'm the Opinionator.
So let's get on with it. The final class trial, except for Chapter 6.
Well, who knows what that's gonna be.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be a class trial, though I suppose Makoto and Byakuya aren't going to be beaming in to save us.
No, I would be shocked.
And Kyoko, she was there too.
Yeah.
That would be nice. What's that Neo World program here for anyway?
I doubt it's just a reference. It must have been here for like the purpose for which it was intended, which was like therapy and that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe so.
You versus Monokuma?
When I play a game, I intend to win.
I'll say.
Yeah.
But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players?
I like how at the end of the last episode we talked about this.
Yeah.
It all has to do with what Kokichi's definition of winning is, and he has always said he's gonna win this game.
No. Beating the game's mastermind is the true victory.
That's the truth, yes.
And that's how I'll win! That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma! If I can deceive Monokuma till the very end, then I'll be the winner!
If only you would have used that mind
For good.
a couple of chapters ago, we could have solved this whole thing.
Yeah.
Miyu could have made more electro hammers so we had spares, and Miyu could have made several remote controls. We could have Tetsujin 28'd it, stolen the Exosols, and just started fighting back against the Monokubs and Monokuma, and the killing game would have been over then. That's not what she chose to do. Now, Kokichi doesn't get a pass either, of course.
Right. If you've got the power and the strength to resolve something, then I'm sorry, but not utilizing that ability and power is a choice. Like, you've got a responsibility to use your power justly, you know?
To quote Churchill, the only way for evil to win is for good men to do nothing.
Exactly.
You're dragging us around like this? Just so you can win a game?
Well, it's complicated.
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
Oh, no, it makes sense to us.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's right.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's entirely wrong.
Well, that's the best kind of villainous ideologues.
Yeah, the one that's kind of at least halfway right, or right about most everything.
The one that almost has a point, but then loses you on therefore genocide.
Yeah, I know I bring it up probably in, like, most of the games that we've played, but I just loved how the villain of Gundam Seed just gave this giant ranting speech at the end. And he was just right. Every point. He was right about every single stinking point, and no one could refute him. But then he was like, therefore, genocide. And lost me there.
Whoa.
But since the outside world is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment we have.
I mean, I kind of buy that, except for the fact that people have been effing killing each other at a time like this, you madmen!
At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning.
That's better than being trapped in the game, probably.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could also use the Neo World program for stuff like games, for recreation and that sort of thing, too.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
It all depends on your values. He is quite rational. More rational than probably anybody else here.
Yeah, which is saying something.
That's one of the reasons that, especially when we did Danganronpa 2, we got a lot of really negative feedback. I guess this happened with Persona 5 as well, because we had values that were greatly different from them. I'm sure most of you watching, we have different values then.
Yeah.
But we believed them. And we believe we're right. Well, Kokichi believes his values and believes they're right. Who is actually right? Well, probably not Kokichi. At the very least, we can say that.
Remnant of despair?
Yeah, he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Whatevs. Let's just get this started.
So the more this has gone on, the more I do think that Kokichi is the one in the Exisal.
Yeah, agreed.
But wouldn't it be wild if it was Kaito?
Yes!
That would be the most out of left field, like, surprise twist.
Wait a minute!
Yeah?
Nobody can know what happened! Maybe Kaito, maybe there is no murder!
Well, there's a bunch of blood from something!
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess if Kaito just died from his illness, there wasn't a murder, but...
I'm not saying I believe that, but that could actually have happened.
Oh my god, if they're both oh my god! Just put a bunch of cans of paint there and then Kaito rolled out of the way.
I just can't see how they could have gotten all that blood.
Right?
So yeah, the only reason we thought that it might not be Kokichi in there is when we did not have as much knowledge. Now that we have more knowledge of what actually occurred, this is not something we're challenging.
Yeah.
Seriously, but if there's another twist, how wild would that be?
If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the winner.
Don't underestimate me, or Shuichi and the others for that matter.
If this is the same Monokuma that it's always been, I mean, granted, he was operated, but he got up at the end of the first game.
Right.
If this is the same Monokuma, he's done nothing but see all these people overcome him.
Yeah.
Heck, even when it comes to like physical violence. What? Really? You're going to say that?
It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game.
So, you're not associated with that? Then what the hell are you doing?
Oh.
But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again.
No, he is speaking from his experience.
Whose side are you taking here?
Side? Isn't it obvious?
Well, his own.
Yeah.
Monokuma joins your party!
Monokuma does a weird dance.
Kokichi lost 4 magic points.
Is he gonna get his own seat?
Who invited you?
Yes!
Yeah!
That's amazing! But isn't he just gonna leave the party and go back to being a villain after this?
Maybe?
Isn't he really only a guest character?
Yeah, of course. That's why we have no control over his actions.
Now, let's join forces and unravel the truth behind this case.
You know what? Okay, let's do it.
Well, we were going to do it anyway.
And now you've got one more person helping you do it. I want him to talk in a non-stop debate. I want him to do a debate scrum.
Yes!
I want him to be on both sides of it.
Oh my god!
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Look, he might help out, all right?
Yeah! Let's just focus on the case!
Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you.
Now, where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after.
He's just gonna keep talking anyway, isn't he?
He's not getting in your way, is he?
In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact...
He's right! Yeah. We say this all the time! Yeah. We even said it a few minutes ago!
You learn something else along with it!
Oh, that's what he means. Okay.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you are both robots.
Hey! No robophobia! So another truth comes out. That piece of evidence makes more sense now. Huh?
Which one? I got completely thrown off my thought pattern and game. What's going on?
Let's see now.
We took such a big detour, I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, it's not that one. This doesn't make more sense. Still don't understand this one. I mean...
Oh, well, that one. I mean, Exosol's protecting Monokuma, but we already deduced that.
We've dealt with that.
What's he talking about?
What is it?
Well, let's just find out where he's going.
The evidence that I couldn't wrap my head around.
Uh-oh.
Eh?
Oh no. Show question?
If Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is, then
video?
it needs to be the video.
Yeah.
This is
Whoa!
Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press.
There's a lot of things it doesn't show.
Yeah.
For instance, it doesn't tell us who killed him.
Yeah, right. I mean, he could have had the remote control in one of his hands and made an Exisal do it.
Kokichi said that he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim.
Because his hands were closed up.
That's an interesting idea, but Kokichi, would he really give up his ability to control the Exisals?
So, like I said, again, it depends on how much he's willing to invest in this climactic final battle, you know?
That would be one way of committing suicide. In a sense, that could also have to do with why an Exisal is the one that came out.
Yeah.
You know, like when the Exisal first showed up, Monokuma was like, let's have well, he didn't say the culprit come out, so, well, anyway.
But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma. So what about the video?
I could believe that it's not Kaito, but then he would have died from the poison.
Right.
So it had to have been Kaito. Besides, where would they have gotten the blood?
Yeah.
It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Right.
Hold on. Isn't there a painting system here for painting the Exisals?
Why, yes, there is.
Ha ha ha!
Okay, so that's why he wasn't wearing the jacket, because there might not have been a body in there, because it was just paint that was put there and the thing was edited, but then Kaito died. Unless
Well,
he's somehow...
Kaito could have died from his illness before the poison did.
He can't just be like, I have to die from my illness, but not the poison that I've been poisoned with.
Now, you don't know that!
How could Kaito be alive?
Oh, I wasn't necessarily saying that he was alive. Just...
Well, but why would you have put paint in here if he wasn't alive? Because
okay, no, that's a good point.
Because with Kokichi's goal, there doesn't have to be a victim here.
That's true. You know, it's very I hadn't even thought about it when you mentioned it, like there doesn't have to be a body here. But Monokuma made the body discovery announcement without actually knowing if there was a body here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to bring up before.
Okay.
Because as soon as we found out Monokuma didn't know, I'm not saying that Kaito has to be alive.
Right.
But it's actually possible. I don't know how he'd survive the poison. But
Yeah, because Kokichi clearly drank it.
Like the antidote.
Yeah, and the entire bottle is one dose.
Right. What if they're both in the cockpit?
Now, you'd have to explain to me how the heck they're both gonna fit in there. I mean, one of them, I'd be a little dubious believing that Kaito could fit in because he's a big boy.
Well, they're bigger than we thought. If they're the size of an armored trooper from Votoms, which it looks like they are, and those are pretty darn small, 4.5 meters tall or something like that.
Okay.
Well, you can fit two people in there.
Oh, okay, well, you're the expert here.
Expert in something that's not real.
Well, it's real enough considering what we're doing.
Yeah, I
Wouldn't
guess
you
so.
say?
I also thought that nobody would be able to fit. It doesn't mean they're comfortable.
And then that means that they're working together on this.
Kokichi said he'd do it.
My God.
After all, Kokichi would still win.
Could Kokichi have, after he drank the antidote, sucked the poison out of Kaito's wound?
Does it work that way?
I mean, you can kind of do that for snakebite venom, but
They tell you not to do that, actually, but it probably does work because people did do that.
And he also did drink the antidote.
Well, he could have engaged in a deep kiss and then vomited some out.
Red.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
If they're both alive? What?
Surely not. But wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be amazing.
Then
Wait.
what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
But how would that be solving the problem? Oh, hey.
Uh-huh. Did you think of something?
Yeah, hold on. How would Kaito... What was it he said? first he said to Shuichi, I'm going to take care of this.
Yeah.
And then, he said, like, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna solve this. And Kokichi was like, you are not boring. The only person that's ever actually garnered Kokichi's overt respect. And so he said, all right, I'll help you out. So then you're saying that Kaito just came up with a plan to kill himself and then trusted Kokichi to handle it?
Isn't that kind of what Kaito's all about?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's okay. I guess that's right. Anyway, the other thing that I thought of, the one that made me pause, this is entirely from a narrative sense. We have no idea. We have gotten no payoff about the Kaito illness.
True.
We understand that in all likelihood, it's the virus that killed humanity.
Right.
Well, if Kaito died, how do we get the narrative payoff for that? It would mean that nobody would have ever known? Who would tell us?
Okay.
Kokichi? If you look at it like that, doesn't Kaito have to be alive? I'm not saying that that's a slam dunk.
No, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, it's not a slam dunk killer proves that Kaito is alive, but there's actually enough of a reason to suspect it to make that narrative pay off, if that matters that much.
Yeah.
It would also make what Gonta did for Kokichi pay off too.
How so? Oh, like kind of making him realize, like, his error, so to speak?
What was it Kokichi said? Why did you start up the killing game again?
That's true.
I have no doubt that he intends to win. And also we have reason to believe that he had been planning to do something before any of this happened.
Maki walked in on them preparing to set up some sort of thing to fool Monokuma. And she just made it more complicated.
I don't know if that's the case.
No? Okay.
They would have said something. Kaito would have been like, whoa!
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Anyway, if the unsolvable murder is that nobody was murdered, okay.
Let's get on with it.
Whew.
Maybe he crushed Kaito with a hydraulic press, so the cause of death would be unknown?
We thought that too, but what does that have to do with what Kaito was planning?
Yeah.
But if that were the only objective, there would be no need to film it.
Yeah.
Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all.
No!
If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you.
No!
Huh? Really?
Especially if it were original Monokuma. Wouldn't that be rad?
There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
Uh-huh.
I could buy that. It's plausible, like most everything else, he says. You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you wanted Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video, it must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma.
Yeah.
Trying to fool Monokuma.
Which means...
Trying to fool him into holding a class trial when there wasn't a murder.
Yeah!
But how would you keep Kaito alive?
Unless they're both...
Him being inside the exisol doesn't keep him alive.
Well, hold on a minute now. Maybe he's not alive anymore. If they're trying to hold a trial for who killed Kaito under the press, but Kaito wasn't killed under the press, then they're not holding a class trial.
Well,
what if his
Maki-
body is in there with Kokichi?
Then Maki is the black.
We're not having a class trial. That body hasn't been discovered. That body hasn't been discovered yet. We're holding a class trial for who killed Kaito under the press. Kaito wasn't killed under the press.
Because a body wasn't discovered.
No.
Okay, that may be right. So it's not that Kaito is alive, but it's that the trial is invalid.
Yeah.
Because if nobody was killed under that press,
then this entire thing is invalid.
There would or killed in that room.
Yeah.
Well, because that would mean that the body would immediately be discovered when it's opened.
Correct.
And Maki would be the blackened. So what would be the point then?
To never open the exosol.
I guess so. If 3 or more students never discover the body,
Yep.
then Maki cannot be held liable. Okay, I think that would be great.
I mean, other than Kaito being dead, but that would mean that Kokichi's in there with Kaito's corpse this entire time.
And that would make his actions make sense.
Or Kokichi's controlling it remotely.
I don't know where he is, but I guess
Yeah.
he's in the mastermind room in that case.
Yeah.
Taking the video of the murder, but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show?
Okay!
No, this one's hard. 6 letters.
Victim.
That's the only thing it could be.
Yeah, I
If
think
we
that
can-
up there's a V.
Was it? Yep, it was.
Bam! Snapshot vision activate.
How's that?
That was really good.
Oops.
Easy peasy.
We might have had a really hard time if we didn't just reason it out.
Huh?
Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now, we know that...
If you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died.
Yeah.
Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim.
I like how you were like, why is his jacket off?
Yeah.
Because he did roll out of the way.
Uh-huh.
And that makes sense of the showing us the thing with Kibo.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. By examining the narrative of everything, eventually you can come to the truth. I sure hope we're right about that.
Me too.
I'd prefer him to be alive, but...
And that might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Switched?
Unfortunately, I can't believe that Kokichi is dead.
Correct.
Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
What?
Sorry, I was trying to think what the conclusion would be. Do we have to vote? And then I was like, but we could just not vote.
Yeah.
But that's against the rules, so we have to vote. It just the whole thing is
But
illegitimate.
if no one's dead, then wouldn't the trial just be canceled?
Yeah, it's an illegitimate trial, so that's it. Because there's no other way for it to work out if there's no victim.
Yeah.
Even if everybody were to vote for themselves, well, that would be a problem. If one person did it wrong, then they don't die. But then that would be a tie.
We need to count how many votes are at the end. Because if Kaito and Kokichi are both in there, they'll both vote. Because if they don't vote, they die.
Well, if Kaito's dead, though.
Ah, that's a good point.
Where would he even get another body?
Right.
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
Call back to the first game.
If there was an unknown body, then we could guess the victim was switched.
Whoa. He does have access to those bodies.
Oh, he does if he's got access to the mastermind room.
But it's not necessary because of the paint, I guess.
Maybe.
But too bad. Switching the victims was impossible.
How so? Okay, whoa!
The footage showed the body being crushed.
The press paused. It doesn't do that. It slowly lowers down. It paused and then sped up. That's not how a press operates.
That is true. We see that arm, though. Well, I'm sure it was edited.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason that it wasn't.
That's what I was trying to get at, yeah.
When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim? And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way.
Did we? Is that true?
I mean, Monokuma said that there was no record of this footage on any of the computers in the academy, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah. With the tools from Miyu that Kokichi has access to.
Right? Adobe.
And the mastermind room.
The camera doesn't have any editing functions. Just play, record, and pause. Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage. Remember?
What about the Exisol?
Yeah, what other functions does the dang thing have in addition to a voice modulator?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive.
Well, he died from the poison, though. Unless there's a miracle.
Yeah.
We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is impossible.
It might be possible.
What? I sure hope that we're not getting too optimistic, but oh my god, this is amazing.
Damon, at this point, if we were dead wrong, I would still be happy.
Oh,
because
yeah!
that would mean that this trial bamboozled us so thoroughly.
I agree!
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and what trick is that?
Yeah?
See, you don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done.
This is the most interruptingness trial we've had.
It's not impossible.
So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victims switch places?
Can we?
I certainly think we've noticed something suspicious about the footage. Like that brief pause. It just depends on what the non-stop debate says, what points we have to argue against.
No, I agree. That in the footage is weird, but then there's this. What is this? Who was dragged?
Yeah.
With what we know right now, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
That's true.
And we haven't used this either.
If Kaito is alive or not?
I guess miracles can happen.
Maki.
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Nobody does.
Okay then. Let's talk about the possibility that Makiro mentioned.
Himiko, if you call her that again...
Yes, please.
You know, Tenko and even Angie got through to Himiko by bombarding her with niceness and attention.
Yeah.
And then now even Himiko is just doing the thing that she learned how to do, which is bombarding Maki with attention. I mean, and like Kibo too, she was making those kinds of jokes.
Yeah, she was trying to get you bond with everyone.
But looks like that bombardment has succeeded here, and that's really good.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, Maki's defenses are down, so, you know, Himiko can hit her right in the feels.
Yeah.
Then let's all talk it over together.
Together.
And don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only going to wear you out. When times are hard, you gotta rely on your friends.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Does this game exist to just completely defeat the philosophy of despair by throwing Kaito at it?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered.
It would be easy to do.
Yeah.
How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
There's a certain thing, my good people, called cinematography and camera trickery.
The arm. There's nothing you can do about that arm.
Cinematography and camera trickery.
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places.
I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time.
You did not!
Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
I mean, that's fair.
And it's what Kokichi started this whole trial with, but he had to do that, if we're right. A trick to that video. I do think you're right about that footage. Like, he could have rolled out. What could it be? What's suspicious about it?
All right.
What do we have?
Well, we'll have to use the video itself.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out.
And this is like the death music.
There is no trick.
The final battle kind of
You
music.
can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Fair enough.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of
A
you?
little bit.
The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
It does.
The person in that video.
I like that. Good argument from a
Was
cosplayer.
it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me.
Yeah.
When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Yeah. Right there.
Could it be that the video was shot at another location?
No.
Any other bright ideas?
Nope. It's the.
Come on, everybody, speak up!
Is that it?
Yeah. It's what Kibo said.
No,
When the video
you're
stopped.
right, but what is it though?
Oh no,
yeah,
it would
okay.
have to be the murder video because that's what actually shows the weird stop it. Oh,
The murder video, by the way, was filmed from an exisal.
that's true. So that wouldn't make the camera angle weird.
But it was done like that on purpose. There are two buttons labeled up and down. There's not a pause button.
No. He was talking about the functions of the camera. It has play, pause, and stop.
No. The hydraulic press stopped for a second. There's no stop button.
Oh,
There's
isn't there an emergency stop though?
Yeah, but that was disabled by an electro bomb.
No. I mean, there's a button where you can. There is an emergency stop button because Kibo told Shuichi.
That's right, you're right.
So there is an emergency stop button. So
I think
it also features a safety function. That's what that is.
Yeah.
The emergency
yeah,
stop button.
I think it's this.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
But it's on the.
On what Kibo said about it stopping momentarily.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
Because this is actually like a
Person
a
in
good
that video.
point.
Was it really Kaito?
Like you can actually learn something from
Something
that.
seemed off about that video
This
to
next
me.
one.
Here we go.
When the hydraulic press
Ah, you missed.
God dang it!
Could it be?
You missed.
I also really love how everybody
There is no
here
trick.
is like cooperating and contributing in a genuine way.
Yeah.
Something seemed off about that video to me.
Okay, don't.
Two
When
white
the hydraulic
noises.
press stopped for a brief
Ah!
Bam!
I agree.
Yes!
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press,
Shuichi almost tried to kill me.
I did not!
Ah!
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
but in the video,
The hydraulic press stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body?
And the thing is we just don't see the moment when the arm moved, I guess, because eyes.
Yeah.
But why would it stop?
It was being filmed from the exisal,
Uh-huh.
but there was someone at the controls.
Yes.
Why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. I mean... So Kaito could move out of the way.
I think it wants us to, like, emergency stop button. I think it's the answer, maybe? I don't know.
I'm playing the game now. Darn, sometimes I just don't get it. Oh, that was a good play, I guess. I guess I ought to do this once. I haven't looked at anything, I'm just playing the game.
Well, that's the button right there. Because it shows the emergency stop button right in the middle.
Darn.
You gotta,
Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, it's not Exisol and it's not the panel.
The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
Well, if there was already something else there,
that we just couldn't see because of the angle.
and then Kaito rolled away because Shuichi and Kibo know that's possible.
Yeah! In fact, freaking Kibo rolled away way later than that.
Yeah.
And you just...
That's true.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
But the angle is important for that.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't see anything else that was there. Also, isn't it weird that Kaito took off his jacket?
Yes! It had to be there so they would think he was the victim.
While the camera was rolling.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Huh? Huh? What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press.
My God, are you saying that they stopped recording?
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Huh. Yeah, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. Never occurred to us. If you stopped that, you could have swapped the bodies easily.
And if it was mounted on an Exisol, the frame would have been the exact same.
There would have been no fidgeting or moving or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's... If it was real blood, then well, Kokichi has access to the bodies, so... Huh.
Well, it's gonna be the camera.
I really just don't have a head for these because I don't find them entertaining.
Same.
Not that.
And that's the hammer beneath it, so... Beneath it, yeah.
Beneath it, yeah.
That's above, so below.
Since I've given, like, no thought to it...
Yeah, that's the camera right there.
Like, I don't know what would actually be a good strategy. Because, I mean, I'm doing it really badly, as you can see. Oh, I didn't have to do that, but that's okay.
I see it.
Just blowing through these.
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously.
Man, this is great, not just for how interesting it is, it's how well constructed every part of the game leading up to this has been.
Yeah!
The involvement of each of the characters in the game is much greater than it has been in the past. Especially in the first one, it really did feel like it was kind of all you, although you were basically just arguing against Byakuya the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone else is just chiming in with their jokes.
So it was Makoto and Kyoko against Byakuya, basically. This is just so... There's just so many more moving pieces and so much more attention paid to, like, the details and emotional resonance.
Yeah.
And like, theme. There's just so much more put into this game.
Everything from the ground up is tighter and more well constructed.
Yes, that is exactly it. A much better way to say it than I did.
Much more succinct.
So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
Hey, if there is one thing I can say about succinct, It is that I am not that.
That's what I've been saying this whole time!
Oh, shut up.
When did you ever say that?
Yeah!
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely.
It can't have moved at all, and
Yeah.
no human being can hold something steady.
Yeah, but a robot can.
Well, now, to be fair, I guess whenever you see an Exisal, they're all breathing or whatever, but let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up?
Well,
Making sure I'm getting the right Exisal. Maybe?
well, no, wouldn't it be the... No, it would have to have been right there by the controls. For the angle to be sharp enough down. No, yeah, right there, right there. Up, up, up. There. It would have had to have been there. If it was one of the Exisals, we would have seen the controls.
There!
Oh, okay.
Booyah!
The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here.
To be fair, though, that's the only way to get that angle, because you can see that if it's not, that on the Exisal it's not set up right. Though the green one wasn't there. The green one was standing off to the right.
It's okay, David, it's okay.
It was. No, it was.
No, you were right, you're right.
Well, that means that somebody used it afterwards. And for that matter, when Maki came in, why would she have stopped it in the position that she did?
Well, it probably got moved afterwards, after she left.
Yeah, why'd they move it?
To make way for the dragging thing? I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I guess that doesn't matter too much. The positioning of Exisal Green has been all over the place.
Yeah, including moving after we came out of the bathroom.
I mean, maybe... No. They would have noticed. It had to have just been a game error.
Yeah.
Not the biggest one in the world. I'm not worried about it.
It wouldn't have let us leave if it was something important.
Yeah. And Tsumugi was standing right there, and Himiko and Maki were also in the room.
Maki wasn't in the room, if you recall. She left.
Oh, that's right. She had already left. But Tsumugi and Himiko were there.
Yeah.
To operate the press and the camera at the same time, you would have to be near the switch.
And there, on the other side of the controls, is the painting station. Well, I mean, or they could have just used the body.
No, I think the paint is right. It'd be easier to do since it's right there.
Yeah.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves the trick was used.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
That's not an insult. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Because Tsumugi has been saying this whole time, I don't know how useful a cosplayer's talent can be.
Yeah.
But finally, she saved the day.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class drawings.
There was a reason the camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height. When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct?
Right.
That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
Oh, there was a tripod?
But there was?
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D
It
pocket.
kind of is, yeah.
What's that a reference to? It's gotta be something.
I'm not familiar with it, but, you know, he's making some sort of extra-dimensional space joke.
Well, yes, of course.
Oh, maybe Doctor Who?
I wouldn't know, but you would.
I'm not 100% sure. But that sounds like something that'd be in Doctor Who.
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Dead from poison, right?
Before he was crushed by the press, He was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive!
I really hope so, but...
Unless something was done about the poison.
Well, wait just a minute.
Yeah.
What? But I just summed it up so nicely.
Aww.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he...
No, we already, I mean, he could still have access to them, but we've already debunked that.
Right.
Eh? Wait, the mastermind?
Would he not have access to those? Well, we don't know. We don't know about the facilities, but there's still the painting station.
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so...
We can theorize what facilities would be back there all day long, but only one person would know. Well, two. Oh, we can just ask Monokuma. He's on our side. Monokuma, did he have access to the other bodies? No. Okay.
Is there a body missing from cold storage, you know?
This isn't theoretical. He's right there.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
I don't want to know what happens to the bodies.
Yeah.
I assumed they'd be in a morgue.
They were in one.
Very well. I'll answer that.
See, I told you, he's right here. He can just clear that up.
You're giving in pretty easily.
Yeah, he hates you.
He's already said he's on their side for this trial.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair.
Also, I hate you.
This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible! All the dead bodies have already been thrown away.
Okay.
Gosh.
Thrown away?
How horrible. This is why I'm saying, are you sure that Monokuma is the lesser of two evils here?
Yeah.
The other bodies are gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Well, I mean, if there is some sort of cloning rebirth facility, then that kind of makes sense.
Well, the thing about the loopy stuff is that was all based on comments that were made, but if Rantaro was a remnant of despair, then the comments that he's made could have been referring to the other games.
Okay.
I wanted to say about that, we'd been noticing those things, but that wasn't the only way to interpret those lines.
That's fair.
And I think that now that we have much more information, that is how we have to interpret those clues. So it's not that there was something that was repeated, but just that this is a succession.
Okay.
Kokichi and Kaito were the only ones in the hangar at that time. There's no reason that they just would have thrown Kokichi under there. I don't think he'd so dramatically commit suicide and then have Kaito be a poisoned shot Kaito be immediately able to roleplay Kokichi so perfectly. So it's probably not Kokichi's body. If they were the only ones present during the body swapping trick, then the real victim was... Well, not the third party, and not the other person.
I guess so. That's the only one it could be.
What? If it wasn't an old body, it could only be...
Are we about to get, like, the big reveal of Zero Time Dilemma? Which I'm not going to spoil because you should play the game, but...
If it wasn't an old body, it could only be... Would he just suicide, though? Does he keeps saying, I'm going to live.
Yeah!
What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with?
Maki, I think I missed something very important here.
Something important?
Something's bothering you?
No! If I have the timeline right, there were only 2 people in the hangar at the time, and in any case, everyone is accounted for, so one of us couldn't have been there.
Right?
which means that something had to have been decided before. I have to pin that down. I can't let anything escape me this time. What? If only
Victim.
We got victim?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I just don't really see that being that useful. I also didn't look, though. Oh, wait. Yeah, you can't see anything, so why would you want to do that?
They're moving pretty slow.
No.
Victim switch?
SWITCH? Seriously?
Oh no, there's a P here.
PEMWDL. Victim.
Help? Victim helped! HELPED. The victim helped.
Yeah, I'm looking for an H. Was that an L?
I think so, yeah.
God dang it.
Bottom, yeah.
I missed the E, though. There it is.
Okay.
I can't believe I overlooked this.
What do you mean?
There were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped. Which means they were working together.
Okay, I guess we've already been ahead of that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, because we knew that from that scene.
Right.
Now,
right.
whether we were really told it or realized it, okay, fair enough.
The victim helped Kaito get out and put whatever ball of paint or whatever in its place.
Oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. I guess because we were told that they were kind of going to cooperate.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did we get that information from Maki or by Kokichi? I know that was in Maki's flashback, but like the scene continued after Maki left. But in any case, we, the players, were shown Kokichi and Kaito talking, but they don't know that.
That's true.
They hadn't worked that out. That's why I was thinking maybe Kokichi gave us that info, but then we would have known.
Yeah.
So this was a case where the players were told they were cooperating before the characters knew.
Yeah.
Which is really unusual if you think about it.
Yeah.
Huh? Working together?
The only 2 people involved in the swap were the victim and the culprit.
And that's why we just didn't even think this would be a thing.
The culprit was operating the camera and the hydraulic press, while the victim lay inside.
There's no other way it could have been.
Yeah!
If they switched places while the press and the camera were stopped,
Okay, maybe they are set.
But why would he...
makes no
then
sense.
the person who turned the camera and the press back on was the original victim.
But why would he just allow himself to die like that?
Yeah.
And how could Kaito have been acting as Kokichi this whole time?
To put it simply, both people operated the press and camera at different times.
So this would make Kaito the blackened...
Yeah.
But I just don't see why... I don't see why Kokichi would go along with it this far.
Yeah.
Just because he acknowledged Kaito not being boring, which matters a lot.
Yeah. Like, that's not nothing.
That's the most overt compliment and praise he's ever given to anybody that we've seen. But is that worth just throwing his life away?
That's why we thought that they used something else.
An impossible trick, unless the victim and culprit agreed to cooperate beforehand.
And then why didn't he die from the poison?
The victim and culprit cooperated? Is that even possible?
Well, then I guess as long as Kokichi died before Kaito died of the poison, then Maki's cleared.
Then who's in the exisal?
We're back down to possibly being 0.
It sounds bizarre, but perhaps that was the whole point.
Schrodinger's trial.
Why would Kaito want that? Kaito's not interested in fooling Monokuma. Kokichi is.
Well, I mean... That's true.
Is Kokichi saying I'll die just to fool Monokuma? That means I won in the end?
Well, Kaito also gets to create a perfect mystery for Shuichi to solve and get his...
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they both get what they want. Though, again, why would Kokichi allow himself to die?
Commit a crime that was so confusing, even Monokuma would be tricked.
Jeez, this culprit's a real jerk. So, have you realized who done it yet?
The culprit of the case. If my detective work hasn't failed me, the culprit is inside that exisol.
Huh.
It can only be them.
I mean, it can only be Kaito.
It's just, why would Kokichi just die?
The apparent victim we saw in the video was Kaito, which means Kokichi was operating the hydraulic press and camera at first.
That's why Kokichi's coat was off and in the turlet.
Why'd he take it off?
So that he could be here in this frame, and so they would still see an arm.
Okay. Why?
If the two of them switched while the press was stopped, then the culprit who started the hydraulic press again and crushed Kokichi must be Kaito. So, the person inside that exisal isn't Kokichi.
So it's kind of like our original prediction. Kaito killed Kokichi in order to save Maki.
Yes.
But Kokichi just went along with it?
That's the part that's so confusing.
And if that's the case, how is Kaito alive? Well, he probably isn't.
Right?
So Kokichi and Kaito's plans would be directly at odds. Is there anybody who can even tell us why he went along with it? I just can't accept it if I'm not told why.
I mean, I'm sure Kaito could if he's still alive.
Was he just a madman?
It has to be Kaito.
What did you say?
So the culprit for this case is Kaito Momota. That is what the ultimate detective has deduced, right?
What's this?
Right? Yeah. That you think that's weird too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. He can see us, but we both just kind of
eyebrow raised.
Yeah, eyebrow raised and then slowly looked at each other.
Kaito is the culprit? What? You're joking, right? You can't be serious.
I don't want to believe it either, but it's the only way any of this makes sense. My detective work has led me to the conclusion that Kaito is the culprit.
I mean, I guess it's true that paint isn't going to look or smell like...
That's true. That's true.
They never really messed with that.
Is that true? Is Kaito really in there?
And was he always such a good actor? I mean, was this just so thrilling and interesting that Kokichi was willing to die for it?
He's a maybe. Say something!
Hey, answer us! If you really are Kaito, then...
I'm the culprit.
No, she's just trying to protect him.
Yeah, I know.
There's just no way that Kaito can still be alive.
And so this is what the argument Armament's going to be against.
Against Maki.
Because I'm the culprit.
Wait, you? But didn't you say...
I saw it with my own eyes. Kokichi drank the antidote that he stole from Kaito.
I hate stopping, but I feel like the argument Armament is going to come out. Well, you know what? If it does, then we'll do it.
Okay.
But if it doesn't...
Then we'll stop.
Yeah. If we get a slightly more of a clean break.
There's no doubt Kaito died. And he died because of my poison arrow.
The thing is, Kaito would have done this so he becomes the Blackened and not Maki.
Yeah.
Thus, saving Maki, because Kaito's death would then be secondary.
Yeah.
Which, according to the rules, means it doesn't count.
It's just that we have to figure out who's in the dang exosol.
I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be anybody.
But you told us you didn't want to kill Kaito.
Yes, I never wanted to. I wanted to believe that I didn't kill him. But the truth speaks differently. In the end, I was just running away from the facts.
Huh? I don't understand.
And the way that she did it was to become all dark and cold and just decide to kill everybody, but she hated it.
Mm-hmm.
She hated it. That's why after not even all that much prodding, she was like, fine, and just said it all. And confessed, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maki, are you trying to protect Kaito? If he's the culprit, you're trying to help him get away? I guess Maki is a lot darker than we've given her credit for. Darker than what Kaito wanted her to be.
Yeah.
And as long as Kaito was there, Maki would never do anything like this. But without Kaito, she's reverting to her instincts.
There was only one antidote, so it's more likely he died from my poison arrow. This is the truth.
Well, we don't know which antidote that bottle is actually, because it's covered in blood. Sure, she saw Kokichi yoink, but Kokichi's pretty good at sleight of hand. He's demonstrated that a couple times. So he may have just been like, yoink, and then tucked it away, pulled out another one maybe? I mean, I'm kind of reaching here, I admit.
It's not decided yet. I could have still killed him with the hydraulic press. Either way, those are the two options. Monokuma knows the answer, right?
No, he doesn't.
Huh? Are those the only options?
Yeah?
I guess that's how things turned out.
No, that can't be. The person in that exosol is...
It's not Kaito! I saw Kokichi drink the antidote! There's no mistake. Kaito is dead.
I'm sure that's the case, or... I mean, barring a miracle, but... Ah!
I killed Kaito. There is absolutely no doubt. That's the truth.
I thought so. Maki is trying to protect Kaito. I understand how she feels. But if Kaito is the culprit, why did he agree to Kokichi's plan?
Or why did Kokichi agree to his?
That's the big one! It must have been Kokichi volunteered.
Yeah.
That just doesn't even make sense to me, but... Well, I guess Kaito could be like, dude, he gave me his life. So I'm gonna go along with what he said, and I believe in you.
That makes sense.
I believe you will solve this. But when would he have gotten so seriously good at being Kokichi? And so Kokichi was like, all right, now let me tell you everything I think and feel about all this. So that Kaito could, without a moment's hesitation, just speechify it.
How much you want?
I can't imagine that Kaito would do something so selfish. There must be a reason for it. I truly believe that. But I have to get to the bottom of this before I can uncover that truth.
But Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
That's true.
Oh, he could have just mimicked drinking it.
I get that there's only one dose in a bottle, but is it really ineffective completely if both people drink half the bottle?
Yeah, it's possible that he might still die from the poison, but drinking half the bottle prolongs it.
Okay, but once Maki gives up and goes away, then they use the extra time to go and get more antidote.
Possible, also possible, yeah.
That's probably not what happened, though. I'm gonna go ahead and leave because it's in the middle of it, but it's terrible. but I hate doing really, really long ones, and nobody wants to see all that anyway, so there. Man, I really liked the idea that we had.
Which one?
The 0 victims. That it's an illegitimate trial.
That would have been amazing.